your guard.
There's something I just don't get.
What is it?
The crown contest itself has always gone ahead as planned, right? In which case, the current sovereign of Rena should be whoever it was that won the previous contest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, who was it then?
Hanfried Milgras, the former lord of Cislodia, if memory serves.
So then this Hanfried whatchamacallem, he's the current ruler of Rena?
The last I heard, yes. Though, admittedly, I haven't actually seen him since the end of the previous contest.
You're saying that ever since becoming sovereign, he's never actually shown himself on Lenegus?
I guess over holocom maybe, but not in the flesh. Same thing goes for the sovereign that came before him.
Now that you mention it, I don't recall anyone ever visiting Lenegus from the motherland, sovereign or otherwise.
And that never struck you as a little bit odd?
When you live here, it's as if you're conditioned not to notice all these strange quirks and discrepancies. The question is then, by whom? And to what end?
A new Renis Alma is supposedly created to coincide with every crown contest, meaning each victor is awarded their very own. In other words, if that's true, there should be as many of the things out there as there have been contests.
True, but going on what we witnessed in Pelagian, it didn't look like the sort of thing that could be made to order. But if even the victor's speeches have been part of some grand deception, then where are they? Quite frankly, I'm not even sure what to believe anymore.
You and me both. Though we are Renin by blood, neither of us even knew that such a thing as a Dark Master Core existed, remember?
With any luck, the Forbidden Zone might give us some answers.
No use standing around here chatting about it then. Let's get a move on.
Doe?
Faria.
Varia? Isn't that the person that Avakir guy was—
But why are you here? Wait, don't tell me you've given up on the crown contest and come crawling back home from Dana already. Nothing to say? Even though you were willing to kill Tarnigan to secure your position as Lord, you still—
Kill?
I'm here to take care of something. If you wish to continue this conversation, I only ask that you wait until I'm finished.
Oh, of course. You always did prefer to take the coward's way out. Even after 7 years and living on that Danon rock, you haven't changed one bit. But let me tell you, I haven't changed either. Not a day's gone by the past 7 years that I haven't hated you.
If killing me will bring you peace, then so be it.
Dohalim, what the hell are you saying?
First, I have business to take care of. If it's vengeance you seek, I will grant you it. But you must wait. My sins are legion. Let me finish what I came to do. Then you have my word. I will let you do whatever brings you peace.
Sure, that's it. Run away like always. You don't even have the courage to die. No wonder you leave it to someone else. You're just a coward!
Dohalim.
I apologize that you had to witness that.
Is it true? What she said about you killing someone?
Each of us have our pasts. I am no exception.
Before, back in Menancia, you mentioned having taken a friend's life over the throne. Is that what she meant?
The mistakes I made there were not my first, and may not be my last. I will say no more.
Did you mean what you said? About letting her take your life if she wanted to?
She has more right to my life than anyone.
But you can't just...
Whatever happens, I have sworn to put an end to the crown contest, and to ensure continued coexistence in Menancia. I have no intention of expiring before I do so. There are far too many questions I still seek answers to. Besides, you have just as much reason to kill me as she does.
Dohalim!
Forgive me. Some things are best left unsaid.
Wow, this place is beautiful!
Yeah, it must be some sort of rest and leisure area for the locals.
You think? Man, these Renan sure know how to live it up, don't they?
Is something the matter, Dohalim?
Before I went down to Dana, my friends and I, we used to gather at this very spot and play music together. Avakir, Faria, and Tarnagan. That was a lifetime ago now.
Tarnagan. He was the one that Faria mentioned, right?
He was once my dearest, closest friend. As well as Faria's betrothed. Despite Faria's lower-class upbringing, she possesses a tremendous talent for music. Entranced by her playing, I helped her overcome her sense of inferiority and introduced her to Tarnagan and Avakir. It was a time of great joy. 4 people bound only by their love of music, with no care for social standing. Only the next song, the next melody.
A friendship based on mutual respect, and a society where everyone is a prisoner to their social class. You really are different, Dohalim.
I suppose it's natural you would see it as strange.
I would have, once. Now, I think the idea of breaking away from society's constraints and choosing your friends based solely on affection is something beautiful that's worth cherishing. Besides, it was that way of looking at the world that laid the foundations for coexistence in Menancia.
Your praise does me too great an honor. I was merely following the wishes of my own heart. And even then, it only lasted until the crown contest began. After that, Tarnagan and I became fierce competitors for the position of Lord. Tarnagan had fallen for Faria. By becoming Lord, he aimed to wrest her from her humble origins and raise her to the highest echelons of society. But fate was not so benevolent.
What happened?
Tarnagan was no match for me in combat. On a level playing field, he wouldn't have stood a chance. But he was desperate and low on options, and he couldn't stand the thought of defeat.
You mean he resorted to dirty tactics to try to win, right? But then why does Faria think... Wait, don't tell me she doesn't know.
How could I tell her? Combined with the trauma of losing her beloved, and by her friend's hand, no less, she would have been devastated.
So instead you let her go on hating you, so she could use that hate as a crutch for her grief?
That's not the same as running away, though.
It is exactly the same. Unable to face the loss of my friend and the burden of my duty, instead I decried my fate and looked away from what I'd done. As for what happened after, that you already know.
But if you hadn't become Lord, Menancia wouldn't be what it is now. The Danans there would still be suffering under Renan oppression like before.
Shion's right. What other lord would have treated me as you did? Anyone else and I would have been dead long ago. You've saved so many people, Dohalim. You saved me. It's thanks to you that I'm here today. So, try not to blame yourself. The burden you've placed on your own shoulders is too much for anyone to bear.
Frank as always. But I shall do my best to heed your advice.
Do you think he'll be all right?
Yeah, I think so. He's got Kisara.
It's important to have someone like that.
I didn't realize how difficult it is just to be there for someone.
Sometimes just knowing someone's on your side can be enough. And he knows, Shion. I promise he does.
I hope you're right. Alphen,
Yeah?
I never appreciated until recently just how much you were always there to support me.
It goes both ways. You've helped me keep going more times than I can count.
Maybe, but I still wanted to say thank you.
I see a medic and supply officer over there. If they know you're with me, they'll likely offer their assistance.
Have you guys checked your equipment lately?
Damn it! Lenegis soldiers!
Any way we can avoid fighting them?
That all depends on them. Whatever happens, be ready.
Well, so much for them not wanting to fight. Oh,
I am Lord Dohalim of Elder Menancia. I command you.
The rest of the city must be erased.
No. Have they been brainwashed too?
Brainwashed or not, if they want to fight, they got one.
Bloody hell!
This armor's too strong.
Split it open!
Be my
The enemy
guest.
wields arts too.
Not today.
We'll see about that!
Benediction light. Another incantation ruined. Making the abyssal deep.
Now you see what I can do!
You're mine!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Dance in the wind!
Here I come!
I'll be saving this one! Light astral energy!
I'm not done!
Now! Doing! This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes.
Here, let me
Not a
help!
chance! We're not finished!
Here's the evil! Blah, blah, blah! That's air thrust! Freeze laser! Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Those soldiers seem different from the citizens we've come across so far.
Yeah, they weren't big talkers, that's for sure. They just attacked without warning.
They weren't in the least bit fazed by Dohalim's presence either.
Indeed. They seem to recognize us as enemies, nothing more. And yet, traditionally, Lenegis hasn't been high on threats. A few frenzied Zeugles during experiments here and there, but not much else.
Their glazed-over eyes reminded me of the soldiers and slaves we met back in Ganath Haros. The ones in blind devotion to Volron.
I've never seen anything like that here on Lenegis before.
Maybe someone doesn't want us here, and the soldiers are their way of letting us know.
What with the Red Woman, the Sovereign, and Volron, we're starting to develop quite the growing list of adversaries. At least we'll know to keep our wits about us.
Further!
Showtime!
Can't get out of this!
Here, dance in the wind! Here's the hero! These ones can run rings around us!
Seismic rupture!
Swallow Blade!
Help this!
Orochi's Fury!
Too fast! Stand back! I'll trip it up!
I'll face you! Swallow Blade! Try this!
Take this!
Infernal Torrent!
Science!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here, let me help!
You're mine! Azure Storm!
Still fall! Sweet dreams!
Orochi's Fury!
Back into the field!
I'll grind you into dust!
Do it! Astral energy! Full throttle! Haha! Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Let's dispose of the trash.
Orochi's Fury!
Soaring blast!
Seal!
Breath of
Swallow
light!
Blade!
Heal my
Try
weary
this!
I
companion!
think I'll pass on the handshake. Seal! Freezing storm!
Blade!
I'll be saving this one!
Infernal Torrent!
Slash! Annihilation!
being interrupted.
Cascade! Spread!
Orochi's Fury!
Back into the forest!
Try this!
Light astral energy! Blah, blah, blah!
Explosive ring!
Once and sweet!
Ether!
Raging healing circle! Searing
Azure Storm!
Sorry,
You do the same for me. It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire!
I'm not done!
Swallow blade! Here!
Swallow blade!
Divine streak!
Swallow blade!
Healing circle!
Swallow blade!
Thunder field! Flame! Reload! Raging cascade! Cyanide! Back into the
Swallow blade!
Magic advance! Air
Swallow blade!
Negative gain!
Swallow blade!
Cyanide! I'm all stopped up!
You're mine!
Annihilation!
Raging lunar storm!
Reload!
Swallow blade!
I'll stop its charge! Thanks,
Raging
Kitara!
lunar storm! Yours to be let free!
Radiant, here!
Swallow blade!
Out of ammo! More weapon shot!
Swallow blade!
Annihilation! More weapon shot!
Swallow blade!
Annihilation!
Hold nothing back! Slice!
Magna Ray!
Roach's fury! Not today!
Annihilation!
Breath of life! Heal my wearied companion! Swallow blade! Roach's fury!
Flame! Reload!
Swallow blade! Begin!
Glacial Spear! Here's the evil failure! Not an option!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here's a healing arc!
Take this! Azure Storm!
Swallow blade! Raging
Swallow blade!
Instant! Back into the flare! I'll be saving
Hold
you!
nothing back!
Denied!
Deity! I'm not done! Azure Storm! Slash! Swallow blade! The flame inside me yearns to be let free! Slash! Roach's fury!
Breath of life!
Heal my weary companion! Slash! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
I'll heal you
Azure
all!
Storm!
Do it!
Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
I felt better, that's for sure. I won't forgive you!
Swallow blade!
I see one, eh?
You're mine! Try harder! My turn! Roach's fury!
I'm the true gunslinger around here.
Oh, my lord!
Here's how
Try harder! My turn!
Freeze laser!
No escape! Begin!
Here, let me help.
Slash!
Dance in the wind!
Take this! I'm not done!
In here!
Fire support! Losing smelling to me.
Yeah, and utterly to me.
Roach's fury!
Chill! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! My
Raging
turn!
cascade!
Ha! No escape! Azure Storm!
Blah, blah, blah. Now,
Slash!
freezing! This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes! My turn!
Ready, Astro
Azure
Blast!
Storm! Captivity! Azure Storm! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Do it! This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes!
Vanquish
Now!
darkness!
Here I come! Tempest! Take this!
Cyanide! I'm all stuffed up!
It's over!
Mega Ray!
Swallow
Do it!
blade!
Divine!
Roach's they fury! Smite with blackened blade! A comfortable win. Coming through!
You've got spirit!
Pierce the ether!
Damn it!
Sleep now! Freeze laser!
I won't show you any mercy!
Now you'll learn!
Take this
Blah,
back!
blah, blah,
Roach's lunar storm!
Tidal wind instant!
Roach's fury!
Die!
Now we're Roach's fury!
Raging cascade!
Take that!
Sleep now!
Damn it!
Azure Storm!
More
Azure Storm! Negative slash! Swallow blade! I'm ready!
Kitara! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble! Now! Here I come! This one's all mine! Take this! Strike!
Reload! Lightning orb!
Orochi's fury!
Radiant blood!
Elusive deity!
Thunder shield!
Remove!
Astral energy!
Say no more! Not a chance!
With this, I can become even stronger.
Those soldiers don't seem to have any qualms about attacking on sight.
Gotta break through! You're mine! Stop! Azure Storm!
Raging Luna Storm!
Orochi's Fury!
Dance in the wind! My
Try
judgment!
harder!
As if the normal creepy crawlies aren't disgusting enough.
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
Go get it!
Azure
Louder,
Storm!
louder! In here!
Orochi's Fury!
I'll be
Swallow
saving
Blade! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Ha! No escape! Slash! Azure Storm! Swallow Blade! Orochi! No escape! Azure Storm! You're finished!
You get the gist.
Try harder! No,
Air thrust!
No escape! Azure Storm! You picked the wrong fight!
In here!
Take this!
I'll be saving it right here! Oh, magic is freezing
Orochi's
cold!
Fury!
Leave the chargers to me.
Ice tornado! Oh!
Azure Storm! Orochi's Fury!
Elusive deity!
Azure Storm! Orochi's Fury!
Raging Luna Storm! Sleep now!
Azure Storm!
Elusive deity! Vanquish darkness!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Here I come! Swallow Blade!
Raging Luna Storm!
Azure Storm!
Do without the drain.
Swallow Blade! Try harder!
Far enough.
Lightning! Downfall!
Here I come! Azure Storm!
From the wind.
Swallow Blade! Orochi's Fury!
abyssal deep. Clear for us a path.
Swallow Blade! Orochi's Fury! Azure Storm! Swallow Blade! Orochi's Orochi's Fury!
Everlasting dark. Negative gate. Being interrupted.
More for the dark side!
Azure Storm!
I'm only getting started! In here!
Orochi's Fury!
Leave the charge!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Azure Storm!
I'm ready.
Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
We may be a touch beyond our depth.
We barely got a look at the thing.
Discourteous, aren't you?
Take this!
Not on my watch! Take it!
Take this!
And again!
You're
Firmament
mine!
Render!
I'm not done!
Freezing storm!
Your reflexes will not serve you well here.
Will this help?
Orochi's Fury!
Take this!
Sword Blade Alpha!
Elusive deity! Behold! The Earth pulse! Tectonic fission!
Vanquish darkness! Annihilation!
Eating pile driver! Tornado
Orochi's
blast!
Fury! Sword Rain Alpha!
Dance on the wind!
Searing flame! Reload!
You're mine!
Here it goes! Reload!
I'm not done!
One
Orochi's Fury!
Magna Ray! More for the annihilation!
In a bind?
Magna Ray!
Azure Storm!
Downfall!
Sword Rain
I'm
Alpha!
out of ammo!
Negative
Bring back
gate.
into the fray! Steel!
Stalagmite!
Saving
On
this
your
place!
Take this!
Spear! Pierce
Azure
the
Storm!
air pressure!
Orochi's
Freeze
Fury!
Lancer!
Azure Storm!
Make the abyssal deep.
You're blood!
No escape!
Searing flame!
Here I
Reload!
come! I'm not done!
I'm practically unstoppable.
Can't get out of this!
No escape! Azure Sword!
The abyssal deep.
Sword Rain
How
Alpha!
long are we gonna keep this up for this action?
Another incantation ruined. Seismic rupture.
More for the
You're
top!
mine!
Red!
Orochi Fury!
Vanquish
Fire support! Orochi Fury!
Release!
I'm ready!
Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! Now! Take this!
Resonate with the earth!
Orochi Fury!
Healing circle!
Rending you
Sword
apart!
Rain Alpha!
Feel!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Bestowed by mystic
An
will.
astral art?
That's my cue!
Shut him down! Azure System!
Light astral energy! More where that came
Can't
from.
get out of this!
Sword Rain Alpha!
I'm ready!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Not a chance!
Remnant
Resonate
Blender!
with the earth! Stalagmite!
Orochi Fury! Sword Rain Alpha! Pivot!
Astral energy!
Say no more! I can feel my power growing! No choice!
Flame radiant!
Burn it high! You're mine!
In here!
Sword Rain Alpha! Take down their defenses! Sword Rain Alpha!
support!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Together!
Take this! Sword Rain Alpha!
Now! Astral energy! Full throttle! Go! Raging cascade!
Not a chance!
Take it!
Strike!
In here!
Sword Rain Alpha! The flame inside is pure! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Redwell! Astral energy! Full throttle!
Now! You're mine! Mirage! Orochi Fury!
More with that heat!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Photon blast! Where are you going?
In a bind?
Take this!
Downfall!
Sword Rain Alpha!
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes!
Take it!
Not a
Light
chance!
astral raging cascade!
Not
Heal my
today!
weary companion! I can carve through armor!
My steel?
More for the
I'm not
top!
killed!
Shining
Sword Rain
Supernova!
Alpha!
Reload! Do it! More with that heat!
Totally! In an instant! Impact Block! Not a chance!
I'm ready!
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes! My exploits are bearing fruit. This must be it. The entrance to the Forbidden Zone.
But it's just a wall. How do we get through?
Whoa, we? I thought this was Sovereigns only.
Alphen.
Yes! It opened!
Interesting. If Alphen's presence still opens the way, it would seem the Sovereign of 3 centuries ago and now are considered one and the same.
What?
What the?
Alphen.
You again.
Tomorrow's the spirit channeling ceremony. We'll finally play our parts as the Sovereign and Maiden. How have you been feeling?
What am I sovereign of? Shuffled from lab to lab, always treated like an experiment. Whenever they look at me, all they see is a Danon. I don't even know what their precious ceremony's for, let alone what they're going to force me to do as the Sovereign. Tell me, if we're both in the same boat, why do you seem so calm right now?
No choice. Becoming the Maiden's not something I wanted for myself. But they said Rena's prosperity depended on it. How could I say no after that?
Still, as a Renan, at least you got to decide. Good for you. Meanwhile, I was taken from my homeland. You aren't the captive one here.
It isn't right what they did to you, and I'm sorry for what it's worth. When this is over, I swear I'll help you get home. I can't do this alone. One more day.
How could I say no to that? It's not like I have any choice in the matter anyway. So, what's your name?
It's Naori. Naori Imaris. Try to remember this time.
You don't act like them. Like the other Renans, I mean. How come you treat me like a person?
Because you are. It's true we come from different worlds. But neither one of us asked to be here right now. In that sense, you and I are much the same. We couldn't do this. We wouldn't be able to talk to each other as people if we didn't see the humanity in each other. So I suppose the question you should be asking is, why wouldn't I treat you like one?
You're not like the others.
Maybe they're not like me.
Here's what we'll do. We give them their damn ceremony. You get me to Dana. That'll be the end of it. I'm taking you at your word on this. I'm trusting you, not them. Naori.
What the hell just happened?
That vision. Did everyone else see it too?
That person Alphen was speaking to, she looked exactly like Shion.
It was Naori. Naori Imaris. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
She really does look like Shion. I'm beginning to see why Alphen was so confused.
That's all very well and fine, but what did we just witness exactly? It was too real to be a mere hallucination.
It was a conversation we had 300 years ago. The night before the ceremony.
You mean all of that really happened? We just saw an episode straight out of your past?
But how is that even possible? Unless... Could this be the Red Woman's handiwork too?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
You guys didn't feel it? The moment the entrance opened, it was like a stream of Danon astral energy rushing over us.
I felt it too. And not for the first time either. It was the same sensation as back inside the wedge.
That would make sense. After all, vast amounts of Dana's astral energy were being siphoned and sent up here to Lenegus. For all we know, perhaps we're close to the spot where all that energy was stored.
So you think it might have been the energy itself that was responsible for that vision we just saw? But how? And why?
We have no way of knowing. Maybe it's not even as deliberate as all that.
Shion, you okay?
Yeah. It was all just a little sudden. That's all. So that was my ancestor, huh? It was like looking into a mirror.
Yeah, there certainly is a resemblance.
What about you? How are you holding up?
Me?
Even putting aside the question of where that vision came from, it's likely we'll see more of those. Reliving painful episodes from your past. Do you think you can handle it?
I can't just pretend like the past never happened. Besides, if it helps us uncover the truth of what that ceremony really was, it might also lead to answers about your thorns.
Alphen.
That's not all. This whole time, we've been fighting to free Dana from the Renans. But now that we're here, it seems those same Renans might have it just as bad. I'd like to liberate them too if I can. Which is just another reason I can't afford to shield my eyes from the truth.
Whether you're on Dana or somewhere else, you always stay the same. Your indignation and righteous passion, your desire to free and protect, they're all hardwired into you. Not that I'm complaining. Come on, let's bust this thing wide open.
Nobody's here.
Stay sharp. After that last illusion, there's no telling what could happen in here.
Faria, how did you get in here?
Wait, something about her isn't right.
What's wrong with her? She doesn't even seem to know where she is.
Yeah, you're right. She looks just like the soldiers we encountered outside.
A summoning?
But that's preposterous. She never had that kind of power when—
We can talk later. Here it comes!
What? I've never known Faria to control Zoogles like that before.
How about with a stone that looks suspiciously like a Master Sword?
What the? Where did she get her hands on that?
First we handle the Zoogle, then we get some answers. Aim for the weak spot.
Freeze Lancer!
No escape!
Lightning Orb!
Azure Storm!
None shall escape my judgment! Magic is there!
I'm not done!
Sleep now! Round Orb in the
Take
stockpile!
it!
The abyssal deep is clear for us to
Rotate
pass.
Fury!
Too much to handle! War with that
Sword Rain Alpha!
Being interrupted.
Sleep now!
Strike!
Lock here! Orb in the
Azure
stockpile!
Storm! Kill!
Gravitas Field! Gusty
You're
Nail!
mine!
Another incantation ruined.
Annihilation!
Strike!
Mega Ray!
Strike! The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Mega Ray! Dance in the wind!
You're mine!
Air thrust!
Forgive me.
You'll pay for that! Sword Rain Alpha! Try harder!
Healing circle! Light ash dance in the wind! Air
I'm
thrust!
not done!
Thanks so much!
Azure
Precipitation!
Storm! Try harder! My turn!
Light astral raging
No
cascade!
Hey,
Healing
Usurper! I owe you
I'll
one!
be saving this one!
Bringing you up a
Not now!
Sorry.
Not ever!
I'll be saving this one!
That helps.
Try harder! Not again!
She wants to handle!
I'm not done! I'm not done!
Raging
Sword Rain
Cascade!
Alpha!
Field! Radiant
Solar
Water
Fury!
stockpile! Damn it! Out into the floor where that came from! Shining! Here's a healing arc!
You're finished!
First aid!
It's on! Burn!
Cyan Instant!
Raging
Thunder
Luna
Field!
Storm!
Huh.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Raging Cascade! Lightning!
Orochi's Ignite!
Magic is there!
Move!
Air
Get!
thrust!
Now or never!
Light
Try
astral
harder!
raging!
None!
Blah
Get!
blah blah!
I'm not
Air thrust!
Elusive deity!
Healing
Elusive Fury!
Rotating pile drive!
Ah! I owe you one!
Elusive deity!
Orochi's Fury! Sword Rain Alpha!
More with that!
Azure Storm!
Magic is there!
Orochi's Fury! Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
None shall
Azure
escape
Storm!
my judgment!
Orochi's Fury! This one's all mine! Elusive! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Huh. Dance in the wind! In here!
Orochi's Fury!
More for the
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
I'll leave it to you!
This is some punishment.
Ah! Burn in hell! Take this! Try harder! My turn!
Divine Fury!
I'm not done! Orochi's Fury!
Firmament Render!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Arrow Squall!
Ah!
Cyan Instant!
Take this!
You're mine! No escape! I'm not done!
Resonate with the
Ocean Fury!
Stalagmite!
I'll be
Armor
saving you
won't
one.
save you!
None shall escape my judgment.
Bloody
Lightning Orb!
On your
Forward from Raging Cascade! None shall escape my judgment.
Ocean Fury!
Better!
Don't suffer in silence.
Here I come! Flame inside!
never
It's yours
miss.
to be let free! I'm not done!
Hail!
Sword Rain Alpha! Ocean Fury!
Radiant Flood!
Bestow thy mystic
Azure
mercy.
Storm!
Flash! Lightning Cascade! It's weakened!
Very circle.
This ends now!
Shattering pieces!
I'm not done!
Eagle Ray!
Eat dirt! Take this! We've got him on the run!
Don't get cocky!
Right. Still anyone's fight.
Magic is here! Eat dirt! Now!
Sword Rain Alpha!
More for the Blaster!
No further.
Stay away from my friends!
Divine!
Azure Storm!
All day!
Sword Rain Alpha! Try harder! Not a chance!
Light astral energy!
Now! Here I come!
The wind!
Strike!
In here!
Ocean Fury!
I'll be saving this!
Now or never.
It's about to strike!
Look sharp, everyone!
The abyssal deep!
Try harder! Now! The flame inside me, yours to be let free!
Soul with life.
Vanquish darkness!
This isn't looking good! Try harder!
Divine! Now for the
Azure Storm! Not today! Azure Storm!
This one's mine!
You're mine!
Armor won't save you.
Is this it?
Forgive me. This is my fault.
Firmament Raider!
This battle is stacked heavy against us.
So we regroup and try again.
You're right. You must play intelligently.
Not so yet!
Heal my wounds.
Azure Storm!
Do it!
Totally! In an instant! Impact Block!
Now it's just her.
Faria! Can you hear me? Faria!
She's preparing another summoning!
The art she's casting is way too powerful to control. At this rate, her body won't be able to take much more. Dohalim!
Forgive me.
Man, I thought we were goners.
Everything okay?
Yes. She's only unconscious.
Not her. I meant you.
Shion, please. Can you treat her?
I can try, but I can't promise she'll be back to her real self when she wakes up. All I can do is heal her physically.
We're not even supposed to be in here. Maybe it'd be better if we moved her to somewhere a little safer. Don't you think?
In that case...
I'll take her off your hands.
You?
Avakir, what are you doing here?
I was curious what you were up to, so I took the liberty of following you to find out. I overheard what you said about Tarnigan, about how he really died. I'm sorry, I had no idea.
And you believed me? What makes you so sure I wasn't lying?
I like to think I know you a little better than that, Dohalim. Give me some credit. I'll take Faria. Leave her with me. I know better than to ask what you're up to. But whatever it is, I hope it all works out.
Thank you.
He seems like a good friend.
He hasn't changed. He never was one to stand out. Instead, he was always hanging back, worrying about everyone else. As for Faria, it's always the closest to me who get hurt.
You don't seriously blame yourself for what happened to her, do you?
Somebody got to her, to strike back at me. Someone who knew me well enough to know that I'd hesitate to fight back. And the same goes for you as well. Neither you nor Faria would have lost loved ones, if it wasn't for me.
You're wrong. Kelzelik was the one who killed my brother. under orders from Almadria. As for Tarnagan, if it weren't for the crown contest, he'd still be alive. That and the whole damn hierarchy that makes it possible. But that's why we're fighting. To put an end to this whole messed up system that treats people as expendable.
Indeed. Ridding society of this blight is really the only way I know how to atone for my sins.
You can't atone, Dohalim. I know it hurts to hear, but those people are dead. No amount of soul-searching or trying to make amends is going to change that. Forgiveness, acceptance, those ships have sailed.
So I just forget the harm I caused?
No, the opposite, in fact. You remember. You never forget. You keep it in your heart always. And then you go on living. Not for those already past, but for those still alive.
For those still alive.
Kisara's right. So long as we've still got breath in our bodies, we can make a difference in the lives of others. Lives being the operative word.
That's what living's all about. Being able to still make a difference. Punishing yourself for the past won't make the pain of your conscience go away.
Only fixing the problem in its stead. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. You have to live for tomorrow, Dohalim, not for yesterday. And not only that, you need to live for yourself, and for the change that you still can be.
I shall try.
Don't forget, we've still got a mystery to solve. The Forbidden Zone, remember?
Shion,
Huh?
thank you. You have my deepest gratitude for what you did for Faria.
Glad to be of service.
I'm glad we could stop Faria without hurting her.
You all did much for her as well. I'm most grateful.
Oh, shucks. We're on the same... What is it, Rinwell? Do you hear something again?
Yeah. It's that voice.
The will of Dana's astral energy.
What? There's so much astral energy. But where's it all coming from? It's almost like it's alive.
That was the spirit channeling ceremony just now. No, it was more than that.
What the hell was that? It felt like everything was on the brink of... Like the whole world was seconds from...
Oblivion. It's the same vision as the one my thorns show me. A vision of impenetrable darkness that swallows up us and everything else.
An empty void. A nothing so complete and dominating that there aren't even words to describe it. The end of time.
The visions of the apocalypse you've been seeing. If I'd known how bad they were,
So, everything we just saw, those were Naori's memories, right?
That's right. It was as if her innermost thoughts were speaking directly to us. At least I know they weren't mine.
That power flowing into her, it reminds me of Xion's thorns. If they're what's responsible for all these visions she's been having, then maybe...
Maybe my thorns are made from that same astral energy?
If that is the case, we just found the missing link between your thorns and what happened here 3 centuries ago. No, more than a link. Perhaps even the very heart of the matter.
I've never felt astral energy so powerful. What was that?
If it's the same energy your thorns are made of, it must be dark astral energy, right? And isn't that something only Renans have?
Correct. Dark astral energy is possessed by Renans alone.
And when enough astral energy gathers together, it develops its own form of sentience. If so, maybe that complete oblivion is exactly what the Renan astral energy's will is wishing for. But why?
I don't know. Will can be a pretty vague thing to nail down. It's more of a feeling, just like the will of Dana.
But the will of Dana is made up of astral energy too, right? And if that's what's been showing us these visions... I don't know, should we really be getting so involved with this thing?
Dana's will would never want oblivion.
But you can't say that for sure!
Cut it out, you two. Squabbling over theories will get us nowhere.
Let's keep moving. If it's Dana's will showing us these memories, then I'm as clueless about its motives as any one of us. But if it could lead us to the truth, then I want to find out more.
Xion's right. All we can do is keep going. If these really are Naori's memories we're watching, there could be truths in them I was never aware of. And I think they may be the kinds of truths I need to confront if we're going to keep fighting.
I'm sorry about what I said earlier. Come on, let's go.
Finally, we begin to understand what the thorns are.
Yes, and their source. A ceremony that occurred 3 centuries ago.
But we still don't know how to get rid of them. I just hope we can find a way.